everyone, and welcome to A Stitch in Time. Today is Wednesday, May 5th, 2021, and this is episode 180. I'm Carol. I'm known as Knits and Pearls on Ravelry, and I am coming to you from my home in the Fraser Valley of British Columbia, just a little ways east of Vancouver. Hope all of you are doing well since we last spoke about a week ago. It's been a pretty good week here. We had some lovely sunny weather for a few days. In fact, we woke up to sunshine this morning, but it has disappeared, and I fear that rain is on the way. Well, at least we enjoyed it while it lasted. Thank you to the many of you who reached out with such kind words and comments after last week's episode. I always so appreciate hearing from you and that you take the time to reach out and drop me a line. So thank you for that. I was thinking it's not going to be a very long show this week. I only have one page worth of show notes, but I actually have a few different projects to talk to you about. So let's as well just jump right in. This past week, it's been all socks all the time. That's the only thing I've worked on for various reasons. So I hope you're in the mood for some sock talk. First up is this pair of socks that I'm knitting for my husband. I was kind of in between sock projects, so I cast on a pair of these Perfect socks for him. This is color 7114, and the colorway name is Waterfall. So for those of you who have not worked with the Perfect yarn before, it's basically a ball of yarn that is divided into two identical sections. And so when you cast on at the appropriate spot in each half of the yarn, you get some perfectly matching socks. It's kind of just an easy way to get some striped socks. You don't have to think too much, which has been really good for me right now. So I have made quite a bit of progress on these since I last showed them to you. I am well down the foot already. So 2x2 ribbed cuff. I began the heel just a couple of rows after this last stripe so that the foot would all be in the dark blue, and that way when I picked up my always pick up a couple stitches in between the instep and the heel. I didn't really want it to show. I wanted it to flow really well, so I did knit a couple of rows before I started doing the heel. Just a traditional slip stitch heel gusset, and like I say, I'm well down the foot, and it won't be too long until I finish these. That is, if I work on them some more. I've kind of been distracted by some other recent cast-ons, which I'm about to show you. But sooner or later, Cameron will get another pair of socks. So, did I say, oh, I'm trying 68 stitches instead of 72 for him, and I'll see how those fit. And it's a 2mm needle. So, not much to say about them. Excuse me. One pair of socks that I've been really excited about are my latest cast on for the Fiber Nymph Dye Works Nature Make Along. I'm using the Bounce base in the Black Capped Chickadee colorway. So it looks like this all wound up, and then it has this mini to use for heels and toes, and this is the color of the Chickadee's eggs, which I had no idea before I joined this club. So this is part of the Backyard Bird Watchers Club from Fiber Nymph Dye Works. This is the first installment, and the second installment is in the mail on its way to me. So I'm really excited to see what bird she chose for the next skein. So how about I show you some socks, not just the yarn. So I waited till May 1st to cast these on so I could use them for the Nature Make Along, because this latest part of it is the is fauna. So we had flora, now it's time for fauna. So those are coming along nicely, as you can see, and then this will be the definitely the heel. Haven't yet decided if I'm going to put it in for the toe also. But 2x2 rib again, top down sock, obviously. My usual 64 stitches on a 2mm needle. So again, not a whole lot I can say about that, but I'm really loving these colors, and I just can't wait to see this pop for the heel. So yeah, really excited to have started these. But what I'm really excited about is last week I showed you my Downton Abbey collection from Midnight Cravings Yarn Company, and they were 3 half skeins of sock yarn, one each named for one. Each skein was inspired by and named for one of the 3 daughters from Downton Abbey, and they each had a coordinating mini skein to go with them. So I'm just going to reach out of the picture here to grab my things. I put them too far away. So, woo! Good catch. This is their label, Midnight Cravings Yarn Company. They're out of Saskatchewan, Canada. And this is the light sock. So it's a 50 grams appetizer and a 20 gram mini, 85% superwash merino, 15% nylon. So this is obviously Edith, which is green, and I'll show them all to you in a minute. So my original plan was just to knit 3 plain pairs of socks, one in each colorway, with the coordinating heels and toes. And then when I thought more about it, I decided the yarn was just too pretty to knit just a plain sock, and I could picture it, the yarn, which is here's the Edith colorway. I could picture it with its light background and speckles. It just spoke to me of lace. And then I got it in my head that maybe I would design a pair of socks for each of the yarns. And so that's what I've been working on this week. I have been having just a ball, bringing all my stitch dictionaries out and going through them and swatching, and I've come up with 3 designs that I am really excited about. So I think I've used that word excited several times, but that's how I feel. I've just realized all my yarns are all twisted around each other here. So give me a second so I can untangle them, and then I will show you a little glimpse of what I've come up with so far. So there's one. That's what happens. They were separate at one point, and then I had them all sitting next to me, and then they've gotten mixed up. Okay, so this is the Mary colorway, and this is the sock so far. So this coordinating skein is called Silk Stockings, and I just felt like this one I wanted to be all lace, and there it is stretched out so you can see what a pretty pattern it is. So this is Mary's sock, Lady Mary. And then this is Edith's. So as you can see, this colorway is called Cloche, And this one, I'm going to have this lace panel run up the outside of each sock. So this would be the left sock. Again, I'll put it on here so you can see the lace stretched out. This lace pattern is called something about raised tire track, something like that. And I thought it was kind of fun since Edith was the one sister that learned to drive a car. I also just thought it kind of looked like little leaves, you know, making its way up a little vine on the side of the sock. So I really liked this pattern. And finally, I was inspired to do these socks by the fact that the coordinating skein for Sybil's sock is called Parasol. And so I found a parasol stitch pattern, and then I modified it a little bit to add handles. And so she's going to have parasols running up the center of her socks. Or not like they're for her, but the Sybil socks will have parasols running up the center front. So it's just been, like I said, so much fun. You'll notice all of these socks are toe up. That's because there's only 50 grams of the main colorway, and I want to take advantage of as much of the yarn as I can. And so I'm starting them from the toe up so that I can basically knit the cuff till I run out of the main color, or obviously I'll plan it so I end at the appropriate place in the design. And then I plan to use the remainder. I'm going to use this colorway for the heels. I'm going to do short row heels in each of the socks, and then I will use up the rest of this on the cuff. So yeah, I've just been having a lot of fun knitting those, and it's so gratifying to see what you imagine in your mind, kind of you see it unfold on as your sock knits up. So I'm really happy with these designs. I will most likely write them up to publish. The one hesitation I have is that because there's only 50 grams of the main color, kind of limited when you go above these socks are all 62 stitches. So when you go above a approximately 64 stitch sock, to go up to the next size, it's usually about 72 stitches. And I'm just concerned there wouldn't be as much yarn left over to do the cuffs. So if I do publish them, I might just publish the one size. Although I do try and include at least 2 sizes in my other patterns, but we'll see how it goes. See if there's any interest out there for them, first of all, and if not, it's just something I can do for my own satisfaction. So I've been peeking out the window here occasionally, and I was really happy to have just seen a black-capped chickadee. And I am particularly happy because I haven't seen one around here for a while, or even heard their calls. A few weeks ago, I actually bought a birdhouse and purchased a special plate to go on the hole to make it smaller so that it wouldn't house a larger bird like a house sparrow. And unfortunately, nothing has moved into the house, but it was gratifying to at least see a chickadee just now and know that they are still around. So maybe eventually a family will make their home in that birdhouse. But in the meantime, I'll just enjoy seeing them, and I always love hearing them. So anyway, that is it for all the knitting, but I do have some more yarny goodness to share with you. Several skeins may have found their way into my mailbox this week. Working with the Ancient Arts yarns recently for my sister's birthday scarf, kind of prompted me to go look at the Ancient Arts website and peruse their colors, and I had a really tough time narrowing it down to just 3. I could have bought half the website quite easily. The one that really stayed with me, and usually when I shop for yarn, I put things in a cart and I take them out, and I do this sometimes over a series of weeks before I press buy. So the one that was definitely on my radar was this one, and it is called Cave Art. And I'm sure at least in part I was drawn to this because I've been recently watching various talks and programs on YouTube about Neanderthals and about early Homo sapiens, early humans, and also some of the programs are featuring cave art. So I think that was on my mind, and I just think they captured all those beautiful ochre colorways that humans used, well, they are humans, that the people used to do their cave paintings. So I was thinking too that since a vast number of cave paintings involve animals, I could use this colorway for the nature make-along if I ever get around to casting them on in time, because I think it will be a pair of socks. So we'll see. It's definitely on my mind. This is the one I want to cast on first. Actually, as I think about it, this colorway could be could equally qualify. It's called the Bee's Knees, and that one was just way too cheerful and pretty to not make its way into my cart and come live with me. Isn't that fun? And then a couple of the skeins that I was using, or the mini skeins that I was using for my sister's scarf, were very watercolor inspired, and one was named Cézanne, I believe. And so I found this one. This is Matisse, A Glimpse of Notre Dame. And I just thought it was beautiful with all the watercolor inspired tones in there, colors in there. And just been to Notre Dame. Seemed like a good nod to it. I was just devastated a few years ago when that big fire happened. I haven't really heard much about it, and I'm wondering how the rebuilding's going along. I'll have to go Google that. All right, so that is it for all the yarny talk this week. As for what's been going on around here, well, once again, I'm home alone. Unfortunately, Cameron has had to work out of town again this week, and will be doing so for the foreseeable future. Not to get into too many details, but he is a regional manager for a company, and he oversees a number of stores. And the particular store that he's been working at recently is about a 2-hour drive from here. Normally, he would visit the store several times over the course of a year. And when he does, he either stays overnight for one night, or sometimes he even just goes back and forth in one day. Of course, that's not exactly feasible when he's working there for an extended period of time like he is now. And so that's why he's been going up there for the week and then coming home on weekends. I've had some staffing issues, and trying to replace some staff members, including the store manager. And it's proving to be rather challenging. This store is in a small, somewhat remote town. So not only is the pool of candidates to draw from rather limited, there also aren't tons of people that already work for the company who are motivated to move up there and fill these positions. So I did hire one person who started last week, and it appears that this person's working out really well. So that's one down. But until they can fill the other positions and be able to have the store run independently, he'll be up there, filling in. So it is what it is. That's why he gets paid the big bucks. But hopefully that's over sooner rather than later. Last week I was talking about how I'm not eating very well, especially supper, while he's gone. I just don't feel really real push to cook a regular, good balanced meal for myself. I do that on a regular basis when we're both home, but I'm just finding it not really wanting to cook for myself. So this weekend while he was home, what I ended up doing is making 2 different casseroles and then portioning them up both for him and me. And so we're both eating a little bit better this week. Being a small town, there's not a lot of choices for him there. He's kind of been alternating between some takeout and getting some ready-made meals at the grocery store and heating them up in the microwave. So yeah, we both actually have some, decent meals to eat this week. It's been pretty easy. Just it's like, okay, which do I feel like having this week? And I've been making a salad and having that, so I'm feeling a lot better about that this week. Unfortunately, this coming weekend, he's only going to be home for Saturday, and he'll head back up Sunday morning to work. And so not sure that that's going to happen again this weekend. We'll see. With only one day, it's kind of hard to cram everything we need / want to do into just the one day. So this past weekend, we kind of took care of a few of those kinds of jobs on Saturday, and otherwise had rather leisurely weekend for the rest of it. Kind of an unexpected happy accident that we saw all of the kids and grandkids on Sunday. Matt and Stephanie came over and picked up some of the wedding things that were left here, like bouquets and table decorations and such. And so they stayed for a visit, and then we had already talked about going over to our daughter's place. So we did that, stayed for a little while Sunday afternoon, visited with them and the grandkids. With them and the grandkids. No, with her husband and the grandkids is what I meant. And then later that afternoon, while we were back home, our younger son dropped by for something and then ended up staying for dinner. So it was quite nice. I will be seeing them all again this Sunday for Mother's Day. They're all going to come by. The plan is to all be here at once if the weather cooperates. If not, I guess we'll have to do it in shifts because our covered deck area is only so big, and we have to obviously practice our social distancing when we're all together. So fingers crossed for good weather on Mother's Day. I don't think there's anything else noteworthy to tell you about, so that just brings me to something good. And my something good for this week is strudels. Now, I love strudels. Our grocery store often has them on sale, and every time I see them in the flyer, I'm tempted to buy them. But the thing is that Cameron doesn't really eat them, and they come in like a pack of 6, and I don't need to eat 6 strudels in a week. And I've tried freezing them, but they're not quite the same after they've been frozen and thawed. So most of the time I resist, and then I always kind of regret a little bit that I resisted. So recently, the school where my sister works had a fundraiser, and one of the items you could order is a box of ready-to-bake strudels. So it turned out that my sister ordered them the last time they had the fundraiser, and she said they were really good. So I went ahead this time and ordered them for myself. So you could either get a box of apple or a box of assorted, which had apple, cherry, blueberry, and lemon. So that's what I ordered, and they arrived yesterday. And so last night after dinner, I baked myself a lemon strudel, and oh, it was so good. There was just no comparison between it and the ones I buy in the store. It's the same type. They're like, I'm sure you've seen them. They're like a rectangle with slots on top where the fruit kind of comes out. But oh, it was just so light and flaky and crispy and fresh and oh, delicious. So problem solved. Now anytime I have a craving for a strudel, all I have to do is go down to the freezer, take one out, put it on a cookie sheet, bake it for about 20 minutes, and my craving will be taken care of. I didn't say my something good was always going to be something profound. Sometimes it's just something I really like. Now I've made you all hungry, and you're all going to go run out and buy strudels, and there'll be like this whole run on strudels, and they'll say, how come everybody's buying strudels all of a sudden? And it'll just be because of me and my something good. Okay, enough nonsense. I think it's time to say goodbye, but before I do, I want to wish all of the mums out there happy Mother's Day on Sunday. We are celebrating Mother's Day here in North America anyway on Sunday. I know it's different days in different parts of the world, but I am looking forward to seeing all of my kids and grandkids for a little while Sunday afternoon. They'll be here to keep me company while Cameron's away. For all of you out there who maybe have lost your mums, I hold you in my heart. I can understand it can be a tough day. Both Cameron and I have lost our fathers, and so Father's Day is not quite the same as it used to be for us. So I hear you. Just if that's the case, just hold your mom's memory in your heart. Think of her fondly on that day. For those of you who are allowed to, give your mom a hug or get a hug from your kids. I can't do either of those things yet, so I envy you, and I look forward to the day that I can do that again. Soon, I hope. Okay, before I get all wistful here, I'm just going to thank you all so much for watching once again. Take care until the next time I get to talk to you, which, if all goes well, will be probably middle of next week again. So I hope you will all be well, and I look forward to chatting with you again then. So take care, and I will see you soon.